Hey everybody, it's Mark Yegge. Welcome back to another weekly stock market update. It's a weird week. We're kind of getting a bit of a head fake in the market where last Friday we went green, but today we're yellow again. So that means I got to exercise a little bit of caution, as you should be doing all the time anyway. Let me bring up what we have going on today, and we will run through what I see in the markets right now. So right now, where my other screen is. All right, so right now we are in a yellow market. We have two red lights and two green lights. That gives us a yellow market. So it could be Monday afternoon that we turn back into a green or a red. But right now we are looking like we want to go back up and test that 50-day moving average, as I'll show you here. Looking at the NASDAQ, you can see that it's gone down, testing its 50-day moving average after a successful test about a week and a half ago, and now it's going back up and trying to test it. It's going to be interesting. That's why it's a yellow market, because we just don't know which way it's going to go. But my sense is that it wants to go back and test that 50. All right, this is the S&P 500, and you can see I've drawn some lines on this chart, you can see the top line is 4607. I think that's where it wants to go. So if you look at my little trend line that I drew, that red trend line across the bottom, it's kind of pointing up. That's making a bullish pennant pattern, which if this does successfully test the 50-day moving average and stay up there on volume, it's going to want to get up to that 4607 level again. But there is always the chance that it could go to 40, the 4,300, 4450 or whatever that is, 44 something. Just that little that small little flat line coming off the bottom from yesterday's bottom. That's a testing area that it may want to do. I think it's going to go to the 50-day moving average. But what do I know? I don't have a crystal ball. So let's take a look at the Dow. The Dow is in a beautiful channel. Look at this channel that's gone on basically all year, or actually from March. So it's made a bottom in March, and it's kind of gone up, and it's traded within that channel. Stocks do this. Exchange traded funds do this. Indexes do this. And the Dow is no different. It's at the bottom end of its channel, but that means that there's a lot to go up. Of course, it needs to hold this for it to be keeping the channel intact, and it's at the bottom. So we're cautionary about it, right? This is the New York Stock Exchange. You're seeing this wanting to test that bottom area. But again, I think this ABCD pattern looks like it wants to go to about the 16,450 level. We'll see if it can do that. If it does that, it's going to make an interesting double top, which is usually not good. So we're going to have to see what it does when it gets up to that 16,450 level. But right now it's in the testing phase. It's in the, who knows if it's going back down to the bottom or back up over the 50. We just don't know. But my suspicion is we're going to get a creep up here. All right, the volatility index called the VIX. This is the panic indicator. You can see that the lower it goes, the less panic there is in the market. And this is pretty close to those lows that it made a few weeks back in the 12 area. It's around the 14 area right now. And so you've got to watch that if you want to know what's going on in the market, what people are thinking. But people are kind of like bullish. That's why the market's not really selling off that much. We had a sell-off, but not very strong. And we had a bullish little pattern on Friday, but not very strong either. So everybody's kind of on the sidelines in September, thinking about other stuff. I don't know what's going on. All right. This is the Treasury yield. You can see a positive direction going on for a few months now. The yields are going higher, guys, and market's telling us that. And the market's telling us that the Fed is not really going to lay off the increase of the rate hikes. They're just waiting to do it. Now, at the same time that they're raising hikes over here, they're not letting you see the little monkey over here, which is they're providing huge liquidity to the markets. And so those two things diverge, and then they come together at some point. And when they come together, that printing of the market ends up going into printing of money ends up going into the market, driving it higher. So we'll see if that happens again. Transportations are in trouble, so keep an eye on that. The airlines are in trouble. Keep an eye on that. I don't know what the airline index is telling us 12 to 18 months out, but they're saying there's some problems in the market, maybe recession or whatever. That's a big indicator and a big strong trend down. Let's go into Apple. Apple is crazy. It was beautiful most of the time, right? Look how nice and smooth that chart was on the way up. And then after numbers, it had a gap down on volume. and then, big candles on volume, and then it went all the way down to 172, and then it came back up and it tested its 50-day moving average, but it couldn't hold it because it was low volume. And then it gapped down a couple of days ago, and then a big candle all the way down, but it couldn't get down to that bottom of that test, and now it's trying to fill the gap. A lot of stuff going on in Apple is in the last 3 weeks when, prior in the last 7 months, nothing was going on in Apple, right? But even the best ones, they are challenged. So you've got to watch out for those. Listen, thanks for being here. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your time, hug a loved one, call somebody you haven't talked to in a couple of years, and I'll see you next time on the Weekly Market Update. Take care. Bye.